When Arsene Wenger first joined Arsenal 24 years ago, he inherited a team that was already in contention for the title. Under George Graham, Arsenal had won the First Division twice and were considered one of, if not the best, team in England. When Wenger arrived in the summer of '96, he reshaped and rebuilt the Arsenal team, bringing in players who would later become Arsenal legends. The likes of Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Marc Overmars, and Robert Pires were some of the notable signings Wenger made that helped transform Arsenal into the super team they would eventually become. Now, 25 years later, Mikel Arteta has been given a similar task in his rebuild of Arsenal Football Club. Although Arteta did not inherit a title-contending team, far from it in fact, he's now been entrusted with rebuilding yet another super team. With the signings of Thomas Partey and Gabriel this summer, Arteta has started the transfer revolution very brightly. Moving forward, he'll need to replicate his success from this summer in future transfer windows. So without further ado, here are 5 signings I believe Arsenal can make that will help return them to their glory days. Number 1. Tariq Lamptey. Tariq Lamptey has been taking the Premier League by storm this season. With 1 goal and 3 assists, all coming from the right wing-back position, Lamptey has established himself as a promising right-back for the future. Lamptey began his career at the illustrious Chelsea Academy and even made his debut last season for the London side. Arsenal fans may remember the young right-back's bright cameo appearance for the Blues last season in Arsenal's home game against Chelsea back in December. Since then, Lamptey has kicked on after moving to Brighton in the January transfer window. The Englishman would fit perfectly into Arteta's system, as he's capable of playing both at right back and right wing back. Whether Arteta persists with the 3-4-3 formation or makes a return to the 4-3-3, Lamptey would fit in either formation. Furthermore, while Bellerin has most definitely improved since Arteta has arrived at the club, the right back position is still one that needs improvement if Arsenal want to take that next step. If Lamptey continues to develop at the rate he already has, I have no doubt that he can become an elite right back in English football, whether at Arsenal or elsewhere. Number 2. Dominik Szoboszlai. Dominik Szoboszlai is the next wonder kid on the block. The Hungarian midfielder has been tearing it up this season and is already being linked with some of the biggest clubs around Europe. With 4 Champions League goals this season, he's broke onto the scene much like his ex-teammate Erling Haaland did last season. With 5 goals and 9 assists in all competitions, the Hungarian would be a perfect addition for Arsenal's midfield. This season, Arsenal have been lacking creativity from the midfield and will most definitely need to address this issue moving forward. Szoboszlai can play as either the number 8 or number 10 and would slot in nicely next to Thomas Partey. Although the Hungarian wouldn't be cheap, he would certainly be cheaper than Houssem Aouar, who Arsenal were heavily linked to this summer. The 20-year-old is also 2 years younger than the Frenchman, and although he comes from a less competitive league in Austria, his performances in the Champions League suggest he'd do just fine in the Premier League. If Arsenal could pry Szoboszlai away from the likes of Juventus, Munich, and Real Madrid, this could be a huge addition to Arteta's side, one that may help Arsenal's mission to retain Champions League football. Number 3. Jack Grealish. Anyone who's watched Jack Grealish in the past 2 years knows he's an extremely talented footballer. Last season, he single-handedly kept Villa in the Premier League. This season, after re-signing with his boyhood club, he's taken his game to yet another level. With 5 goals and 6 assists this season, he's now added the goals and assists to his game. With his play this season, he's even solidified his spot as an England regular. He's a creative force on the pitch who's always looking to make things happen. Grealish would be the perfect fit for Arsenal. His creative ability would certainly solve Arsenal's issues going forward. With Grealish out wide, it would free up the likes of Aubameyang, who could take up his preferred position at centre forward. Arteta is a big admirer of the Englishman and would, no doubt, love to have his talents at Arsenal's disposal. Although it may be hard to pry Grealish away from Villa, there will come a time when the winger will want to play Champions League football. If Arsenal can retain that, they are in just as much contention to sign Grealish than any other side. Although unrealistic, I believe Jack Grealish would be the perfect match for Arsenal. Fingers crossed, Arteta sees it that way too. Number 4. Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland has taken the footballing world by storm in the last 2 years. After his breakout season last year at Salzburg, he got his dream move to Borussia Dortmund in the January transfer window. Since then, he's kicked on and established himself as one of the most promising players in world football. The Norwegian already has 11 goals this season, and although it may be hard to best his 44 goals of last season, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it either. Haaland is a goal machine. His finishing ability and physical attributes are unmatched for such a young prospect. Having been born in England, the Norwegian could be set for a return at some point in the future. While this may be the most unrealistic target on my list, Haaland would fit Arteta's system perfectly. His ability to both hold the ball up and get in behind would make him the ideal candidate if Arteta was looking for a centre forward. A front line of Grealish, Haaland and Aubameyang is one that would terrorize opposition defenders. With Haaland's and Aubameyang's pace and Grealish's ability to drop off and create, Arsenal would possess one of the best front lines in world football. Although unrealistic, you never know with football, it just may surprise you. Number 5, Boubakary Soumaré. Bubkari Samari is yet another elite prospect to come out of the PSG Academy. In 2017, despite spending 7 years at PSG's academy, Soumaré made the decision to take his talents elsewhere, joining Lille in search of first-team opportunities. Since then, Soumaré has kicked on at Lille. He has made over 60 appearances for the French side and has established himself as an elite prospect for the future. He can play as either a holding midfielder or as a box-to-box player. He has the technical ability, vision, and physical prowess to become the next big French midfielder. He has even been compared to the likes of Paul Pogba, while many scouts believe he could go even further than the United midfielder. Arsenal have been linked on various occasions to Soumaré, while many fans believe he's a natural replacement for Granit Xhaka. Only time will tell whether this will prove true. Although Xhaka has refound his form under Arteta, there are still many who believe that Arsenal need to acquire an elite holding midfielder. A midfield of Soumaré, Partey, and Szoboszlai is one that would be considered elite for many years to come. With all this being said, the likelihood of Arsenal making all of these signings is quite unrealistic. However, I would not be surprised if one or two of them were wearing the red and white of Arsenal in a few years from now. The appeal to play in North London is ever present, and now, with Arteta at the helm, more and more players may be even more intrigued by the prospects of playing for Arsenal Football Club. Make sure to comment who you would like Arsenal to sign in the next few years, and how you would build Arteta's super team. As always, thanks for watching, and keep trusting the process.